This 3D line graph tracks the explosive growth of a seemingly perfect stock. But watch what happens. In seconds, the valuation shatters and billions of rupiah vanish. For Indonesia, a nation relying on its capital market as an engine for economic growth, these sudden crashes are rarely organic. They are targeted attacks. Everyday retail investors are having their savings extracted by highly coordinated financial crimes. In a pump-and-dump scheme, a syndicate buys cheap shares, artificially inflates the price through false hype, and then sells at the peak, leaving regular buyers holding worthless assets. With insider trading, where individuals trade on secret corporate information, the playing field becomes entirely rigged. This extraction process has evolved for the digital age. Syndicates now use social media influencers to create a hype machine, locally known as pom-pom stocks. These influencers weaponize FOMO, or the fear of missing out, convincing thousands of their followers to buy a specific stock at the exact moment the syndicate is preparing to dump their shares. When retail portfolios are wiped out in these events, it is not the result of natural market forces correcting themselves. It is a deliberate, systemic extraction of wealth orchestrated by elite syndicates at the direct expense of everyday citizens. A single manipulator sits at the center, obscuring their identity through proxy accounts and anonymous chats, branching out across digital identities. By the time investigators trace a connection, the network has shifted. Traditional manual audits are too slow to catch these digital speed transactions. This regulatory lag has severe macroeconomic consequences. When market manipulation goes unchecked, international institutions take notice. Global index providers like MSCI issued stark warnings regarding the integrity and depth of Indonesia's market, citing the exact vulnerabilities these syndicates exploit. A market bleeding global trust cannot attract the long-term capital needed for national development. To protect its economic future, Indonesia needed a defender capable of operating outside slow-moving bureaucracies, an agile entity that could hunt manipulators in the very gray zones they call home. Enter AMPM, or Manipulasi Pasar Modal. This specialized independent watchdog was built expressly to track financial criminals operating in the market's dangerous blind spots. Their philosophical mandate is uncompromising. Fiat justitia ruat caelum, let justice be done though the heavens fall. They are designed to pursue the facts regardless of how wealthy or politically connected the suspects might be. To execute this mandate, AMPM relies on their data lab. This facility powers an AI-driven early warning system, an advanced software program designed to map anomalies and identify fraud before the damage is fully realized. The system operates as a massive digital dragnet. It simultaneously scrapes YouTube videos, analyzes stock recommendation spam messages, and cross-references that chatter against real-time trading anomalies on the exchange. By analyzing billions of data points at once, the system effectively eliminates false positives. It identifies the organized pump signals across social media long before the devastating dump actually occurs. The very tools syndicates use to commit fraud are now their biggest vulnerability. The massive digital footprint required to coordinate thousands of retail investors has become the exact weapon AMPM uses to catch them. AMPM does not act as a rogue vigilante. They serve as the agile vanguard for the official Capital Market Integrity Reform Task Force, supplying actionable intelligence directly to state regulators. While ANPM tracks the data, the task force dismantles the architecture of the fraud. They implemented a mandatory 15% free float, meaning a larger percentage of a company's shares must be available for public trading, making prices harder to manipulate. They also forced the disclosure of ultimate beneficial owners, or UBOs, stripping away the anonymity of proxy accounts to reveal who actually controls the money. This combination of structure and surveillance enables a precise tactical strike. AMPM feeds granular targeting data to the task force. Authorities then use that intelligence to freeze illicit broker accounts and hand comprehensive blacklists over to the national police for criminal prosecution. The physical impact is immediate. Operations have already led to hundreds of billions of rupiah in administrative fines, and it has resulted in the immediate locking down of dozens of mutual fund subaccounts linked to known syndicates. Entrenched financial syndicates rely on weak rules and slow enforcement. When structural regulatory reform is paired with surgical AI intelligence, those syndicates can be systematically dismantled. Yet taking down current syndicates is only half the battle. AMPM's secondary mission is focused on prevention through retail investor advocacy and structural literacy. They have launched an initiative to build an army of 100,000 integrity-aware investors across Indonesia. By teaching the public exactly how these manipulation schemes work, they are actively removing the syndicate's primary target, uninformed buyers. To support this community, they introduced the AMPM Victim Hotline. This serves as a centralized, real-time reporting hub where victims of stock manipulation can provide raw data directly to investigators. The ultimate defense against market manipulation is an educated, immune public that recognizes the warning signs and flatly refuses to take the bait. The Indonesian market landscape is tightening. A zero-tolerance ecosystem is taking shape, where manipulation carries documented, severe consequences. In this environment, human bias and jurisdictional red tape are removed from the equation. High-frequency algorithms now cross-reference every trade against historical fraud patterns in milliseconds to flag suspicious volume movements. For any manipulators still operating in the gray zones, the risk profile has changed. The speed of digital detection now outpaces the speed of execution, leaving a traceable audit trail for every illicit trade. By combining relentless AI surveillance and structural reform with an empowered investing public, Indonesia is securing its economic engine. They are building the foundation required to become a trusted, globally competitive financial powerhouse.